all ASEAN member and all UK. How can be? That's right. The government of the Republic of Philippines want to put one more pillar to the ASEAN pillar is the environmental pillar. And I think that if we put this environmental pillar to the ASEAN, the environmental problem will be better and better in the ASEAN communities, and all the members of the ASEAN will pay more attention on.
First of all, I would like to show my respect to His Excellency, Her Excellency, all the ASEAN leaders. My name is Mei Kwong and I'm from the Cambodia Daily News. And I have one question for the Prime Minister of Myanmar. My question is that as your country has just had a successful election, so what are your strategy of your new government for the upcoming ASEAN 2015?
I just wake up from the political instability by having many conflicts, and especially we have transformed our economy, into the democracies, what we call it, democratization. The strategy of the governments, we have set the strategy already, and the strategy that we going to implement, which is we going to improve our political stability more, especially to develop and promote the democracies. One thing is what we discussed in responding to the ACTA in 2015. The economic perspective is very important. That is what we have to consider. For the strategy that we can, firstly, we have to grow the economy, the internal economy. And there are many ways, like what I have discussed about the previous sections, about the opportunity of Burma toward the ASEAN policies. We have the geographical easy to access to the India and the China, which is the powerful and the big market in Asia. Another is we try to strengthen our human resource by improving the education system, and we also try to push our human resource to get the technical support by access to what our ASEAN members try to promise that they will provide us the scholarship. So that is also we, on behalf of the government, also urge or push this implement.
My name is Amsida. I'm from the evening class session news. I would like to raise a question to the Secretary of the ASEAN. Why do you think China is the first challenging with the ASEAN community in 2015? And the second question is responded by the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Why? What should you do to promote the education system, to promote the justice of Cambodia to challenge with another citizen of Asian countries? Thank you.
All of China production is made where a challenge and maybe competitive in the world government, not only in the ASEAN region, but in another region. And as ASEAN, as China with a high population and the labor cost is low and labor cost is cheap, so she can produce the products with a cheap price.
Capacity building and human resource development. With such a thing, it serves as a very basic ground, a very basic strategy, a very basic policy for us to promote our education. So in response to this, we have established. We have created another sub-policy. Just for instance, we have the educational for all, meaning that everyone, every Cambodian citizen is allowed or is prepared, is organized to receive at least 9 years of education. Right? So having, no, just staying in school for 9 years now it seems to be not very good, right? Because we are now being with ASEAN, no more Cambodia alone anymore. But because of that, we are now discussing in our cabinet to proceed it into 12-year education. Right? So 9 years not really enough, but we will proceed it to 12. So 12 meaning at least each Cambodian citizen finish high school. Also, in our strategy, we mentioned it in our National Strategic Development Plan Phase 2 as well from 2009-2015. So, in such a strategy, in such a policy, we will provide more vocational training and technical training to our workers, because since we are now preparing ourselves to be integrated as one in the ASEAN community in after ASEAN Free Trade Area. So everyone must be skillful, every Cambodian citizen, every Cambodian workforce or worker must be skillful, otherwise we will be their employee, not employer. It's just the worker, but some other country, some other nation, there will be our boss for always. So what we have to do here, we have to develop ourselves. So we will, according to our policy, we will provide more vocational training. We need to try to give the right medicine to the right sickness. Meaning, if you are having a fever, then it will give you a medicine to cure your fever. And such a thing is also a same problem. We are facing that, and now we will provide that thing. For example, we need the worker in, let's say, in engineering sector. Then we will try to provide a vocational training and technical training to that sector in order to compete or to challenge, or let's just say to involve ourselves in the labor market of the ASEAN at large. And another one, the government commitment alone seems to be a challenge. Why? Because we still face a lot of problems, particularly with the financial support. Cambodia is still poor, right? Our economic development compared to other countries in ASEAN, if we try to compare Thailand to Singapore, we are very far from that, right? So we are still poor in terms of economy. Then what we need is financial support, right? So besides from this, meaning in order to achieve to get that financial support, we try to cooperate with the international organization working on such educational affairs. Particularly, we have UNESCO, also we have United Nations Development Program, we have worked with bank, we have worked with the IMF, have worked with the ADB, ASEAN Development Bank, or whatever. They offer us the grant, therefore offer us the loan, so that we can use that money to develop our educational quality.
Okay. Myanmar will hold the Asian chairmanship in the next many years. Actually, now we are ready to be the chairman in the 2040 because we are in the process of capacity building, we build the capacity. But in order to achieve that and in order to make sure that we can, Myanmar also have some strategy and set up some, get some lesson learned from other country. And like this year, we get a lesson learned from Cambodia, and next year from projects. And what we concern is about, firstly, the political instability of social security, because it is very important for the delegation and for the meeting. The meeting cannot be whole if it is insecurity. So I will try my best, and will try the government best to deal with the problem of the conflicts, to finish the conflict and conflict between the governments and the Islamic group. We will try to integrate and to find ceasefires, peacekeeping and peace building. So after we can get that, we will be able to do anything because we have peace. And after that, what I arrange to do for the next is to strengthen the human resource capacities, especially in protocol and in the ways of manage the meeting. That's the important thing. And I hope that, not hope, I will learn from Brunei's at the next meetings.
ASEAN will coming soon in 2015, and at that time the labor flow will be changed from one to another country. So what is the mechanism to protect all kinds of discrimination and also the labor force for that migration? Thank you so much.
Maintain in order to maintain, in order to make the security for the all refugee or for the all labor force which is travel to get a job. This is not really strange. It just strange in ASEAN, but in another region just like European Union and American, that it's just a simple things that they do. But for us, there is really concern. I mean, what we concern is that there is different levels of the labor skill from individual countries in ASEAN member. That regarding to the skill from each country that cannot be reached. For example, just like the nation from Myanmar, the nation from Cambodia, as we know that Cambodian workers has come to work in Thailand and Malaysia. This is regarding to all of the countries have to facilitate a very good job in order to give services to all of their workers. To maintain that all workers is living in the standards of the worker, we have to set the schemings of the work regarding to the labor rights of the international declaration. We have to obey those rights in order to maintain all of the things and all of the injury that will cannot be expected that happen to them.
Regarding the question that if the conflict occurs, does it affect to the ASEAN and the region? Yes, it is for sure that it will affect. But Philippine government, China government, and the ASEAN member try our best to tackle this problem. And the government of Philippines welcomes to China and all conflict parties to solve the conflict together and regional law or the international law. Because it is not only the individual state. We cannot tackle it bilateral way, but we must tackle it in the regional ways, in the context of ASEAN, or to contact all the conflict parties or the world as a whole. And we will find the best solution by peaceful means, and we will do our best to keep the conflict down, and we will tackle it together. And the government of the Philippines currently ensure that it will not affect ASEAN. If there are no any party or the conflicts prepare or threat to the other, it will come down together, and the Philippine government will come down and solve it peacefully. Thank you.
As you know, the Chinese is a big partner dialogue. You can say that it's a big business partner for ASEAN. And that's it. If the ASEAN do not have a good relation with the China, the effect in the future will be raised. So that's why the Singaporean government always support all the ASEAN states to make sure that all the resolution they put in the tables are discussed peacefully and find a good solution that have a mutual benefit for all the members contested. So thank you very much.
Hai there, phóng viên chào mấy. Cambodia sent our government to integrate about the Khmer into the central government. That's how sexual evidence.
In order to respond to the question, I would like to divide the point into three. First, I will talk about the political perspective. That is very important. The invest into Myanmar, invest into one country, they consider whether the political is stability or not, and they consider about the security, about the benefit, how can they get benefit from such kinds of security and stable society.
His Majesty, Excellency, the ASEAN Head of State and Head of Government, the Secretary General of ASEAN, ladies and gentlemen. To end our program of Mock ASEAN Summit on the opportunity and challenges of ASEAN 2015, I would like to invite His Excellency Gabriel, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, to give his closing remarks.
Your Majesty, the Sultans, Excellencies, ASEAN's leader, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Our Mock ASEAN Summit has come to an end as planned. The royal government and people of Cambodia had the great honor to host this important Mock ASEAN Summit. I hope that Your Majesty and Excellencies ASEAN's leader and Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, received warm hospitality extended by the government and people of Cambodia as close friends and brother, sister in the great family of ASEAN. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank ASEAN's leader for their important contributions during the meeting, especially the perspective on opportunities and challenges of each individual country in ASEAN 2015. Indeed, we are very proud that the Mock ASEAN Summit on ASEAN has been crowned with success and fruitful conclusion. I am extremely pleased with the outcomes of the meeting has on the important agenda subject. This will help accelerate the progress of the three pillars, namely ASEAN Political Security Community, ASEAN Economic Community, and ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. We are very pleased and noted with satisfaction and pride advancement of ASEAN since its founding, especially its active and influential roles in regional affairs. Since the founders' vision of ASEAN 10 was realized, ASEAN today has become a closely integrated political and economic entity, an influential player in the region and the world, and indispensable strategic partner of major economic and political power and international organizations. We strongly believe that the realization of the establishment of ASEAN's community and a full ASEAN in 2015, coupled with gradual strengthening and expansion of close cooperation with partner countries and institutions, will bring about enormous benefit to the people of ASEAN. And the role of ASEAN as the driving force in ensuring regional and global security, stability, and development will be further enhanced. I strongly believe that the successful outcome of the summit represents a substantial contribution to our resolve to establish a strong ASEAN community that corresponds to our theme, ASEAN, one community, one destiny. Finally, I would like to wish Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good health, great success in all endeavors, and a safe and pleasant return to your home countries. With this comment, I now declare the Mock ASEAN Summit on ASEAN 2015 opportunity and challenges closed. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, for the memorable closing statement. Ladies and gentlemen, the press conference by the ASEAN leaders has now come to an end. I would like to invite the director of the protocol team to come to the front to express his remarks.
afternoon to Her Excellency, Chairman of ASEAN, and all the ASEAN leaders. Truth to be told, I think it has been my privilege and golden opportunity to be the Director of Protocol for this Small ASEAN Summit. And I think we cannot deny the truth that we have created a great history by being the first in arranging the Small ASEAN Summit that no other have ever done before. So now I would like to thank, I personally and on behalf of our student here, to thanks to our Professor Dr. Ansapol for his marvelous support and instruction in shaping this Small ASEAN Summit to be quite successful since the very early stage till this moment. I also would like to thank to His Excellency Dr. Gavin Poon for his kindness in both technically and financially support our event today. And thanks to UC staff for their participation. I also profoundly thanks to my dear protocol team from our session for their unbelievable strength, effort, and sweetness in successfully in arranging this Small ASEAN Summit today. And thanks to our great delegates, press team, for their understanding and cooperation. Without your support, this event would not have been that good as planned. Lastly, I wish you with good health and succeed in your life. And may this event on Small ASEAN Summit to be the most memorable and forever lasting remarkable history in our school life. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Mr. Lam Yu Peng, the director of the protocol team, who has just given his closing remark. So now, last but not least, we would welcome our lecturer Ansapol to express his closing remark.
Okay, thank you very much. It's my turn. Okay, I have a short remark for ASEAN Smart meeting today. So the first, I would like to say thank you very much for the President of the UC, the support, equipment, and some finance to process this event. And thank the association team of UC, and thank you UCAS, and thank you very much for all of you who participate in this event today. So, without contribution today, we cannot success the Small ASEAN Summit today. Especially thank you very much for protocol team that worked very hard and long time and very strict. As we know, protocol very strict. So the protocol had to make the master plan for all training, all events. If the error of protocol, this event not success. So the protocol work very strict, even the real summit of ASEAN. So the protocol work very hard and long time. And I hope that all of you to learn more experience from this event. As we know today, even the mock meeting, but very formal. I really appreciate for all of you, very formal, like ASEAN Summit. So I hope all of you to learn more experience. And thank you very much for all student contribution. And the last, I wish you all to be healthy, prosperity, and successful in your life. And before we finish the program, we should take for photo session from another group. This one very useful. It's like very formal small meeting. Even the real meeting of ASEAN Summit, we do it the same way. And in my experience in protocol of foreign affairs for 20 years, every event, every meeting, also some errors protocol program. You see, this morning in the opening ceremony, you see that the protocol, technical assistant error to the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister speak. So not voice, not word. But the same way, sometimes in the summit or the meeting, the Prime Minister can speak also. This microphone is not work. So big problem, but very important protocol from us. We learn from this mistake. You know, we must control various states everywhere, from state to state. So this one is very important. And I really strongly appreciate all of you contribute this event today. And the next in future, I hope we will discuss about ASEAN strategy and for the next generation. And I hope when you finish the bachelor from UC, you will get a high quality of education and work well with government, private sector. So you will become the Cambodian resource to compete in AFTA in ASEAN when you finish this bachelor. So I also want you to do more research. If you want to have more knowledge, more experience, you can speak, you can discuss, as I said this morning, because of doing more research. If you don't do any more research, you cannot get any knowledge. You cannot express your opinion during the meeting. So the big problem for the leader, the future leader. So I hope you can be a good leader in the future, but you must do more research, do presentation. It's what the quality of education. If you don't do any research, if you do not do any presentation, you cannot get any knowledge. You cannot competition in the market, especially in ASEAN market. Okay, thank you very much. So I will
very end of our summit. So we can now enjoy the photo session. Everyone. Wait.